From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. It has been rough sledding in the oil patch these days. A triple whammy of sorts has turned the once booming Bakken into the Bakken Blues. Q2's Jay Cohn joins us tonight to show us how far the Bakken has bottomed out.
10,000 layoffs and more on the way. Oil production off 30%, just April to May. The number of active oil rigs down 82% since January. Just some of the details in the July report from the North Dakota Department of Mineral Resources. The startling numbers come at a time when the region's oil industry is reeling. First, the pandemic crushing the worldwide demand for oil, not to mention an international price war in oil. And now a string of legal setbacks that have delayed and threatened to shut down two major oil pipelines. It adds up to a really bad case of the Bakken Blues. First, jobs, 10,250 layoffs as of mid-July, an estimated 20% of the state's oil and gas sector. Thousands more jobs are at risk as the Paycheck Protection Program expires. Active drilling rigs are hard to come by. Only 10 working the entire state of North Dakota this month. The nationwide rig count falling for 19 straight weeks. And North Dakota's oil production now at its lowest level since 2013. In May, 858,000 barrels per day was produced. Compare that to 1.2 million a day in April. As the industry awaits federal court rulings regarding both the Dakota Access Pipeline and the long-delayed Keystone XL, experts expect a sudden surge of oil moving again by truck and rail. The Dakota Access Pipeline took 500,000 barrels a day out of the Bakken. That means 900 additional tanker cars on the rails each day. And that heightens concerns over public safety. Alan Olson with the Montana Petroleum Association says without those pipelines, Montana and North Dakota oil producers face a significant hike in transportation costs, as much as $15 a barrel. Economics that simply don't add up for oil ventures here. Olson says the big concern industry-wide is the rise in COVID-19 cases. As the cases go up, the demand for oil goes down. It's that simple. And recalling oil's big downturn in the mid-'80s, Olson told me it took the industry 20 years to recover. With that in mind, he said, we've got a long road ahead of us. In Billings, I'm Jay Cohn reporting for MTN News.
All right, thanks, Jay. And if you're looking for any good news, some experts feel the Bakken production numbers may have already hit bottom. They're hoping for better numbers 2 months from now when July's figures are released. Governor Bullock was in Billings today to discuss that CARES Act funding and other economic concerns with members of the Yellowstone County Economic Recovery Team. Bullock heard from representatives of banking, long-term care, and small businesses. New data from Wallet Hub shows Yellowstone County is rated as one of the most economic vulnerable counties in the country due to our regional hub status. Other cities in our region, including Boise, Bozeman, and Rapid City, also cracked the top 10. We have a big footprint with regional retail, entertainment, and restaurants that are all feeling the impact. Another vulnerable sector is small business. Montana ranks #1 in the country for share of employment from small businesses. The unemployment rate has recovered some from April when it was over 13%, down to around 8% in July. Last month, some 21,000 employees did go back to work. Tomorrow, Montana Fair 2020 is set to kick off, but there have been a lot of changes made. Q2's David J. has more from Metro Park.
Russ, we're out here at the Montana Fairgrounds. The Mighty Thomas Carnival is setting up at about 50 to 60% right now, and they're spread out. And we did get a chance to talk with one of the commissioners about the decision that went into holding the fair.
Looking how everybody else is operating, I guess if they started shutting down Walmart and Sam's Club and Costco and things like that, that would be an indication that obviously we should be shutting down as well. That's not happening. What we're asking for is the same behavior at Montana Fair that you would do out at a grocery store or out in the community at any other event that you're doing right now.
We encourage that folks follow the lead of our employees, and they'll have masks on, and then maintain that 6-foot distance and wash your hands frequently. We've got hand washing stations throughout the fairgrounds. It shouldn't be wall-to-wall people. It can be more 6-foot to 6-foot type interactions. And the rides are spread out in space more than they've been in the past, so that there's room to negotiate your way around rides and around equipment and around games and food.
There are only 3 fairs I know of that are going on in the country along about this time. The Delaware State Fair starts, I think, July 26th, maybe 24th. The Northwest Montana Fair begins a week after ours, and then our fair beginning this week. Those are the only 3 I know of off the top of my head that are going on. So we know there's going to be a lot of attention and a lot of focus on us. We just want to show how you do a fair right.
Sneak a peek starts at 4 o'clock on Friday here at Metro Park, and that's the latest from out here. Russ will send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, David. 4-H and FFA are also major reasons that the fair is held. The livestock shows will go on, but they won't be open to the public. Well, COVID-19 has claimed yet another 2 lives at Canyon Creek Memory Care in Billings. Canyon Creek reporting another death tonight on its Facebook page. That after Yellowstone County health officials said a man in his 70s passed away at the long-term care facility on Tuesday. Since the facility outbreak was announced on July 6th, 15 residents have now died. To date, 96 people associated with Canyon Creek have tested positive for the virus, 56 residents and 40 staff members. The 2 latest deaths mark the 20th and 21st here in Yellowstone County, now putting the state's total at 45. Lake County also reported its first death this morning, a man in his 70s. Tonight, Yellowstone County has 505 confirmed active cases. Gallatin County is next with 89. Bighorn County has 83. 4 of those Bighorn County cases are county employees, including a detention officer at the county jail in Hardin, and 3 with the Road Rule Fire Department. All right, turning to Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire. And Bob, it was kind of a bumpy night on the weather scene for a while.
Yeah, we still got a few showers lingering around there. Let me show you what's happening on the Doppler radar. You can see a little line of showers coming up from Columbus through Laurel into the Billings area. Now, these are not big, bad storms, just some light rain showers. A lot of it's not even making it to the ground. We call that Virga. But let's pull back a little farther and show you, there's a whole lot more where that came from. All the way into eastern Idaho, we got some showers there. A little farther up in the northeast corner of the state, we had some big thunderstorms in eastern Montana tonight. They all seem to be moving up and out of the region. But take a look at some of the storm reports we have. Rocky Boy reported 0.8 of an inch of rainfall today. Bozeman had 1/2 an inch of rain. Immigrant had 1/2 inch size hail, 1/4 inch size hail at Big Timber had 61 mile per hour winds. Same thing at Judas Gap, 58 mile per hour winds. Plentywood reported 70 mile per hour winds over there in eastern Montana. And look at Carlisle. They had 1.5 inch diameter hail, and that is basically ping pong ball size hail. We'll have more in your forecast coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thank you, Bob. An update on a string of arsons that kept firefighters busy for hours last night in Bighorn County. Authorities say at least 27 fires were set between Crow and Hardin last night. 11 fire trucks from multiple agencies had to be called out. Fire Management Officer Bob Jones says a qualified fire investigator is now being brought in. He also says it could have been a lot worse if not for the excellent job of first responders.
So on I-90, we had 5 fires on the east side with structures nearby. And then also even by the railroad tracks on the other side heading further to the west, we had structures and of course other values at risk like people's crops and cattle and things like that.
And how concerning is it to know that this person is still out there and may do it again?
Yeah, we're pretty concerned, and but we've got some resources, and we're ready.
Well, no suspect information has been released at this point. And a Huntley family was able to escape as flames engulfed their home early this morning. That fire started just before 4:30 on the home's porch at 1052 Pryor Creek Road. The family's neighbors called 911. Ward and fire officials say wind fanned those flames as they spread to the attic, caused the roof to collapse. There's no known cause at this moment. Still ahead on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2, with the state struggling to meet all testing demands, Montana State University is now stepping up to the plate. I'll tell you how they're doing it. And in sports, your Big Sky Conference football kickoff is underway. Scott hears from both Jeff Choate and Bobby Howe.